The off season, but as we get closer, and we're just about 2 months out from the college football season for 2021, and today I'm gonna go ahead and release my official top 25 preseason poll for next college football season. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Chris Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media. Thanks so much for tuning in today and watching this video. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. I do baseball, football, basketball. I try to cover as much sports as possible. As someone trying to be a future sports broadcaster, I also have a website. I'll put a link to that in the description of the video. Check me out, ballardsports19.wixsite.com. Okay, today I want to release my top 25 preseason rankings. Now, I know I'm going to catch a lot of heat for some of this. Honestly, in my opinion, when it comes to ranking preseason top 25 teams, outside of the top 10, it really doesn't matter. Just get some good teams ranked, honestly. And of course, as you know, and if you don't know, if anyone's out there watching this, if you don't know, preseason rankings are meaningless and pointless. All it really does is say, this is who I think will be the best team. This is who I think will be better than who, or, this team will be better than this team or that team, or what they have coming back. This team has high expectations. And everything, and of course, as these teams enter the season and start playing games week after week after week, if they keep winning, they keep rising. Obviously, some of these teams are going to lose because we got quite a few top 25 matchups um, going into this season, and especially within the first couple weeks. For example, Penn State, I have them ranked. They play Auburn, who I don't have ranked. And I know you guys are going to sit there and be like, oh, he's biased, he's a Bama fan. No, Auburn's really going to have a bad team this year. I don't think it's going to be all that good for them. Could they be ranked, though? Yeah. I would definitely put them one of the first teams outside of the top 25. But, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and run through this at least to go ahead and start. Let's start at the bottom at 25. A team that had a really good season last year in Coastal Carolina. I don't think it was much of a fluke, but at the same time, I also don't think that, last season will really have much impact on the program going forward. I do think they are a team that could look like they can compete. I think they deserve to be ranked somewhere. I put them at 25. Right ahead of them, a team to at least try to keep an eye on in the Big 12, and TCU, the Horned Frogs, and they've fielded some good teams in recent years. They've kind of taken a step back, though, the past maybe 2 years or so. I think they could take a step forward just barely with the talent that they have coming back. And we'll just have to wait and see. But are they ready to compete in the Big 12? Maybe not. That number 23, I can't even believe I put them in here. But I'm going to give them some credit because people are going to keep their eye on this team. Jim Harbaugh, you're on the hot seat at Michigan, but I got you at 23. I think it could be interesting. I feel like maybe the first couple games they could get off to a good start, but I just think it's going to tumble and fall from there, and they're just going to take a downward spiral outside the top 25. And Jim Harbaugh, who's on the hot seat, who's been on the hot seat for like the past 4 years, 3 years, whatever, is finally going to get his moment to leave Ann Arbor. Above Michigan, a team in Louisiana, out of, I think they're in the Sun Belt, if memory serves me right, and I get that right. But they're a really good team in their own way. They're a really talented program, and at least where they are, the Raging Cajuns, who, yeah, if I recall, I think they are a Sun Belt team. I could be wrong on where they play. But they're one of the best in their own division, conference, wherever they are. They are one of the best in their own moment. They're not a Power 5 team. They're not on the level of a Power 5 team. But I think they could have a good season ahead of them. They could win 6 games. They could make a bowl game. I'm going to put them at 22. 21. Washington Huskies. This could get interesting. Um, what they want to do in the Pac-12. The Pac-12 is going to be down and outright just bad, I think. Um, and it always is going to start with Oregon and Mario Cristobal, who has built a pretty decent Oregon Ducks program over there. Washington is not too far behind, um, and they could at least compete in terms of the Pac 12. Like I'm saying, though, you got the Pac 12. They could have one of those just terrible years where nobody's good over there. But if I got to take a team even outside of Oregon, Washington's had some killer teams, especially killer defenses. And I lost a couple key guys this past year to the draft. Joe Tryon, who my Buccaneers took. They also lost a guy. I think his name was like Levi Unrazuki. I don't know how you say that last name. Someone let me know. I could see them falling at 21. Next on the list at 20, Steve Sarkisian comes from Alabama after a historic, great college football season, the best we've seen. You get a pandemic. We release it on the world. It takes over. Chaos ensues. We don't know if we're going to have college football, right? Hold on. 10 games, conference only, and we play football. And Alabama goes on to win the championship. But it was all offense driven. That was Coach Sarkisian, who's now at Texas, replacing Tom Herman, who should have been out maybe last year, but like before last season or whatever. I don't know. But Tom Herman's out the door. I don't even know where he ended up. But I love the Steve Sarkisian hire. I think it's a great hire for Texas. He could get them going in the right direction. It might take him a couple years to get on his feet and get it up and going. I think they should get some credit. The Big 12 is going to be interesting. We'll get to a couple other teams in a minute. It could be interesting for Texas. But again, we'll just have to wait and see what Sarkisian does. I don't think he does anything major this year, but you got to give him props. They do have some talented players, and yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what they do in the Big 12. Speaking of the Big 12, gonna have a few threats. But I got two teams from the Big 12 in the top 10. We'll get to that in a minute. Right above at 19, got Indiana Hoosiers. Michael Penix, Penix, the quarterback for Indiana last year, a key player. Indiana has a lot of talent, and they competed with Ohio State last year. Actually, who am I kidding? They got their butts beat in the Big Ten title game, but they did have a good season. 8 game season. They won their division. They ran the table. They made it to Indianapolis, and you don't sleep on that. I don't think. I feel like it's going in the right direction for Indiana, and I don't think they'll be as good as they were last year. Quite honestly, I see other teams in there like Wisconsin or whoever, maybe coming out of the West to play Ohio State, or is it even going to be Ohio State out of the East? No, it's not Michigan, but we'll just have to wait and see. Number 18, last year's defending champ. This year, is Bama last year or this year? I don't know. I consider this year to be looking forward for 2021, and this season Bama will be the defending champs. So I guess last year was LSU. So they're at number 18. Now, they could be called the worst defending champs in college football history, outside of like maybe 2011 Auburn. There's been a few actually over the years, but those two more recent. Um, Credit to what Coach O did in 2019, but one good season doesn't really do you all that good. I don't think he's on the hot seat whatsoever. I think they have a better year, right? And I'm looking forward to the documentary from 15-0 to 3-7 in 365 days LSU by the numbers. I'm looking forward to that. I'm just kidding. LSU at 18. Max Johnson. The quarterback, I don't know. TJ Finley. They got a few guys on the roster. I don't know what the quarterback situation is. Who's the next Joe Burrow at LSU? Is there going to be one? What are they going to do? They just lost Jamar Chase, their top receiver. He opted out. Could he have made it better for him last year? If he played, I think so. I mean, I think he's one of those guys. I don't care who the quarterback is, as long as they got a strong arm. Which I thought the quarterback had a strong arm. They had some good games last year. Of course, the Florida game, we all remember that. I think they're a good team. I think they're a good program too. Tough year last year though. Opt outs, injuries, COVID, everything they lost. It was just one of those special teams with Burrow in 19, once in a generational type of moments that you have. You'll never forget it. Unfortunately, though, they took a huge, huge L, losing all that talent. And 2020 did not treat them well, but I got them at 18. Just above that, I know my grandmother watches this. I'm sorry to put them so low. But at 17 is Penn State. They got to be ranked. And this is a moment for James Franklin to prove that last year's struggles after a great offseason hype. A lot of people love Penn State. I think Uncle Lou picked them to win the East, maybe win the Big Ten. I picked them to do that. Then they had Micah Parsons and company. A few guys just opted out. And conference only, shortened season, hit them out of nowhere, lack of off season. It held them back. Credit to Ohio State, though, and Justin Fields for taking care of the Big Ten. But Penn State, I got them falling at 17. Just above that, another Big Ten team. Iowa. Iowa Hawkeyes could be very, very good this year, I think. They're interesting, at least. Iowa at 16, Kirk Ferentz. He's had some pretty good years, some good teams. I think they actually won the division a few years ago, or came pretty close. In the I think the Big Ten West, yes. But some teams in the way in the Big Ten. Penn State, of course, we just mentioned. Ohio State, obviously, up there. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I feel like they could probably be the second best team, second or third best in the Big Ten. Big Ten's going to be tough to figure out outside of Ohio State. And heck, even they will be tough to figure out. But I got Iowa at 16. Number 15, and I hate to put them this low. Outside of Oregon, this might be the Pac-12 favorite this year. And again, I'll also be making a first-time playoff teams that can make it for the first time in 2021. This team is on that list, and I'll explain a little bit, I guess now. But Clay Helton and USC, man, it's crazy. They got Kendon Slovis at quarterback. They could have one of the top offenses, definitely the top offense in the Pac-12. Kendon Slovis is a key prospect for next year's draft. Got some key receivers. Just some good talented defense too, I think. They're going to be a favorite for the Pac-12. And if they run the table, man, they could go undefeated or maybe take a loss somewhere. But if they continue on and only have the one loss and they win the Pac-12, they could be one of the four teams. We'll just have to wait and see. But USC at 15. I can't even believe I put them this high. But I'm going to give them some credit, at least before the season. But I think they drastically fall from this spot. But at number 14, I got the Florida Gators and Dan Mullen. Emory Jones at quarterback. They just lost Kyle Trask. Thankfully, he's with my Buccaneers. We got a guy after, for when Brady's gone. But Florida at 14 is what I have. I know a lot of people were saying Dan Mullen's out the door this year. I would probably agree with that. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't think they're going to be like the worst team in the East. I don't think they're going to be the worst team in the country. They're going to do something, right? They might not make a bowl game. They might go 4-8. I don't know. I haven't looked at their schedule. And it's going to be tough. Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen was hired to make Florida compete with Georgia. They did that last year. They won the East. They made it to Atlanta. They came back on Bama. They made it a game. But let me tell you something. Kyle Trask was not recruited by Dan Mullen. Kadarius Toney was not recruited by Dan. None of those guys are Dan Mullen's players. What you saw though in the postseason, whoever they played in their the bowl game that they had, who did they play? I'm trying. Virginia, I think, right? Did they play Virginia or whoever it was? Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl. I'm sorry, they played Virginia a couple years ago. Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl. Oklahoma lit them up. I think on one hand that's a preview of what you got for Oklahoma next year, but I also think it's a preview of what you have for next season with the Florida Gators. Those were Dan Mullen's players and recruits playing in that game. What was it, 55-20? They had zero defense at all. Hardly any offense. How they got into the 20? I mean, Oklahoma plays in the Big 12. They don't have defense, period, so they're going to give up points. But Florida at 14 makes the most sense to me. I don't even know. You're lucky I didn't leave you out the top 15, Florida man, as Uncle Lou would say. I'm trying to be realistic, unbiased, and a sportscaster with this, but I mean, Florida is just bad. They're going to be bad. They're not dead. They're not a dead program or nothing, but I mean, come on. Oh, they just won the East. Congratulations. Georgia's winning the East next year. Probably the SEC. Florida might not even be the second team. They'll fall off, probably be dead. Well, not dead last. You got Vandy there. They got to deal with all those teams. I was doing the show on Saturday with my friend Chess Hall. Go sub them up. I love you, buddy. And we were talking about Missouri. They could be the second best team in the East. If that is the case, that should be a wake-up sign of Florida. Florida's always been a great SEC team. Go back to Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow, won like 2 out of 3 titles and everything. I mean, they used to be one of the top kings of football. And then all of a sudden, a guy named McElwain comes in, former assistant to Coach Saban, who did really great, but obviously could not consistently coach and win the conference or anything like that, comes along. Then he's out. He still has his players, and Dan Mullen uses those for a couple years. And now what we're gonna see next year is Dan Mullen's recruits, and I really don't think they could do anything. Florida's at 14, Miami at 13. Miami has a test against Alabama. I think they could definitely be one of the top teams in the ACC outside of Clemson and North Carolina. I don't think they're going to be bad, but I don't think they're going to be as good as maybe some people might think they will be. I think maybe they could finish higher than 13 by the time it's all said and done. Maybe they finish way lower than that. Derek King at quarterback. You got some good receivers coming back. Defensively, you did lose a few key guys like Gregory Rosso on defense. I mean, overall, they'll be good. I got them at least in the top 15. I got them at 13. Number 12. Keep your eye on this team in the Big 10. Wisconsin. I still think the Big 10 is Ohio State's to lose, obviously, but Wisconsin could be that team that could catch them in the title game or whatever. Maybe. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd keep my eye on them. Notre Dame loses Ian Book. I love Brian Kelly. I think he's a good coach. I got him at number 11. Oregon at number 10. Probably going to win the Pac-12. Definitely going to win the Pac-12. I don't know. Unless USC does something, which, again, I have them at 15. They could be the team out of the Pac-12. But, again, I could be wrong. Just going to rapid fire these. North Carolina, the Tar Heels, second best team in the ACC. Sam Howell comes back. I think they lost Javonte Williams as a running back to the draft this year. Lost a guy or two on defense. They also lost Michael Carter, who was a running back too. So they lost a duo of running backs, but I don't think it should let them, fall off too much. Sam Howell's going to be in control of this offense. Mac Brown's a talented head coach. I think he knows what he's doing with this, and I think it's a bright future for him at North Carolina. But obviously, with Clemson in the way, they're not going to be the top dog in the Atlantic Coastal Conference, the ACC. Cincinnati could be the best Group of 5 team out there this year. Luke Fickell, I think, had a good team last year. Held Georgia to a field goal. Ultimately, Georgia won by a field goal. But I mean, you got to be tough if you're competing with JT Daniels, who's going to be a Heisman candidate next year, and you're competing with a defense like that from Athens. At number 7, I got Texas A&M Aggies. They could be higher. I don't know. Um, Jimbo Fisher, Haynes King at quarterback, 5-star pro style guy. They don't lose a whole lot, but they lost Kellen Mond. They bring some good receivers back. I think they're definitely going to push Alabama in the West. Keep your eye on a team like Ole Miss as well. I don't have Ole Miss in my preseason poll, but I also, think they could end up being ranked somewhere too. I just don't have them right now. But A&M at number 7, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Jimbo's confident that he'll beat Saban's rear end, as he said, but I don't know. Be careful what you wish for. At number 6, Brock Purdy and Iowa State Cyclones coming into this season, blazing hot. Oklahoma's the only team in front of them in the Big 12. No divisions in the Big 12, so you don't got to worry about any team really slipping you up to take hold of a division or anything. You just got to keep winning. Do not take a loss. Do not take 2 losses or whatever. If they beat a team like Oklahoma, that's a statement made for them for potentially a playoff spot. So I got Iowa State at number 6. Ohio State at number 5. JT Shroud, the quarterback, from what I am hearing over there out of Columbus, Ohio. He won't be Justin Fields. I think they get Master Teague back at running back, if I'm not mistaken. Chris Olave, he actually might have gone pro. I think he was drafted this year. But I like Ryan Day. I like the coach. I think he's got it going in the right direction for the Buckeyes. I really do. I think he's got a bright future. I think Ohio State's still the team to beat in the Big Ten. And they're also one of those teams like Clemson, Bama, Georgia, whoever, that even if they lose a lot and lose the most talented guy on the roster, it won't be as good, but they're always going to be right there to just keep it going. They have a great athletic department. They got great staff. And, they could slip up, but I also think they'll definitely be the favorite for the Big Ten East and potentially the Big Ten. So I got them at number 5. Number 4, Oklahoma. Tough year. Tough start to last season. But after 2 losses to open it up, they were rapid fire on it. It went all the way to a Cotton Bowl. They won, and I mentioned with Florida, 55-20 or something like that. That offense with Spencer Rattler lit it up. Forget about what receivers he had. This guy is a baller. I remember seeing his high school highlights. He can run around in circles. He can elude tacklers. He has a strong arm. He's very mobile. Good ball placement and skills. He's going to be a Heisman frontrunner for sure this year. And I think Oklahoma is definitely going to be one of the top favorites to make the playoffs. Definitely the favorite to win the Big 12. But maybe they could get over that hump. Maybe they make the championship. I don't know. We'll see. Number 3. The Georgia Bulldogs. How about them? JT Daniels at quarterback. They lost George Pickens due to injury. Jermaine Burton, though, right there. And they got a lot of talent. They finally figured it out on offense. They're always going to have great defense. Shout out to all the Georgia fans, Chess Hall, Uncle Lou, all you guys. I love y'all. And y'all are going to have a good team this year. I really think that Georgia, they're going to challenge Alabama for the SEC. Could Kirby Smart finally beat Nick Saban? Could a Saban assistant finally beat him? Could happen. Probably not, but it could happen. Alabama's still the team to beat in the SEC, and I got them at number 2. And you could probably go ahead and take a guess on number 1 because I haven't mentioned this team yet. But Clemson at number 1. Alabama has Bryce Young coming in. They lost Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle. They returned Slade Bolden at tight end. They have John Mechie coming back at receiver. Brian Robinson's going to be the lead rusher. Keep your eye on a guy like a Jai Hall. Keep your eye on the defense. Good secondary. Jordan Battle comes back. Kool-Aid, McKinstry, JaQuincy Kool-Aid McKinstry. We call him Kool-Aid. I think he actually got that name in high school. I don't know what it was, but they call him the Kool-Aid man on the field. And, it's going to be a talented defense. And I've been saying, I love Bryce Young. I love the offense. I think it's going to be great. but I think the defense will show to be better than the offense will be, and I don't think we're going to be what we were last year. I think Alabama does take a step back. But that being said, we got DJ Uiagalelei and the Tigers at number 1 for Clemson. And, I mean, no surprise here. They get Justin Ross back, I think. Cornell Powell, I think, is a receiver coming back. I could be wrong. Lynn J. Dixon at running back as ETN is gone. And, of course, Trevor Lawrence is gone, too. It's great to see him and ETN paired up with the Jaguars. But anyway, Clemson at number 1 um, to end this top 25 preseason rankings. Hey, thanks so much for watching and tuning in today. That's going to do it for this video. I know I don't know. I didn't do all the research in the world for these players, but I kind of focus in on coaches. Like Michigan at 23, give them a little bit of credit, right? But Jim Harbaugh could be out of there. Penn State, this is a year for a team like them to prove that they are better than the flaws of last year and the opt-outs. Florida, maybe I put them too high. I don't know. But you guys let me know down below what you think. What teams were wrong? What teams were right? I get it. Maybe this is all messed up all the way around. But I don't know. I worked really hard, and it's not easy making these preseason rankings. But that's what I got. And again, I'll at least give you the top 5 or top 10 here. Clemson, Bama, Georgia, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Iowa State, Texas A&M, Cincinnati would probably be the best group of 5 team there is. North Carolina and Oregon right there in the top 10 rankings. But you guys let me know down below in the comments. And I appreciate y'all for watching. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up on your way out. I really would appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. And comment down below your thoughts on this. I love you guys. Keep your head up because Jesus loves you. Y'all remember that. Like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, folks, Ballard Sports Media checking out. Love you guys. Have a good day. God bless. Roll Tide Roll. Woo!